Hello my dear friends, welcome back to my world of programming. My name is Tumitadi. Let's get on to it. So, according to our agenda, we are still busy with a mini series on ASP.NET Core MVC, particularly talking about scaffolding identity, right? So in our previous video, part number 6, we were looking at add phone number, and we might look at it briefly, but we need to focus on verifying the phone number right here. So we are doing part 7. So before we continue, I'm going to urge you to please check out this personal YouTube channel of mine. I know you will find it very helpful, and that all the videos that I'm making, including the ones on this mini series, are uploaded on Licensed Handy Tapes YouTube channel. Right. So according to Visual Studio, let's recap again. When you decide to go to log in, so this is where I'm at, login, right? You're going to provide your email and the password, right? So you providing your email and password, the first thing that we're going to try, we're going to find the email based on whatever you provided. And if we did find an account associated with that email, we're going to check if is that user suspended or is that user deleted. If all these checks they pass, then we're going to proceed to check is the email confirmed. If this one passed, then in our previous video looking at it, but is their phone number confirmed? Did they supply the phone number? So this is where we were in our previous video. So again, let's do that. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this guy, and that's what we're gonna be using, right? Right, so let's see if this account has gonna pass all the certain checks, like is the account suspended, is it deleted, did they verify their email account, did they verify their phone number? Right, so this is where we were in our previous video. So we said we've done this, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to add an existing phone number because this system, I won't be able to add a legitimate phone number because this system will need to verify. But the verify phone number, so let's say you're providing the correct one, it's going to redirect it to a page called verify phone number, pass in whatever it needs to pass in, right? So what happens, let me show you that verify phone number, the UI first. It's basically going to be the same as add the phone number. The only thing that you're going to have to enter is that the code you're going to be receiving via the SMS, right? So this is the UI. Like I said, unfortunately I won't be able to show this functionality because I have to provide a valid phone number, which I don't have, right? So but in the code behind, we have a lower variables, we have two containers for managing the user and the sign in, right? And then we have a property. Before I come back to the property, let me do this. There is a helper class called the verify phone number view model. Like I said, this one is an inline class for the view model. It has these properties: user ID, phone number, if that was the first time or not, because it can happen that this is not the first time, right? And the code that we're expecting, of which this one is always going to be required. Remember to have attribute required on this guy that's going to be required from the user. So with that, we are building, we have a one property of type verify phone number view model that it's bindable, right? It's a bind property. It is the one that's going to get the data from the user entering the code, right? And then we're going to check that information. Good. And then we're using the constructor to inject those services. And then we have on get, right? It's just going to return the page and populate whatever it needs to populate. It's very important, right? And then on get, let's say you did receive the SMS via my service provider. We need to check if the state is valid. Remember, we have the code of which it's required, so we need to check the state. Did you provide that which is required? If not, we need to repopulate those guys again and show that this page needs correct information, and then return the page again. But if that's the case, we're going to use that user ID to find an account belonging to that user with the help of user manager, right? And we're gonna check if we did find the user or not. If we did not find, we're gonna return a warning message that will say failed to verify phone number, right? Other than that, if we did find the user, what we're gonna do, we're going to change phone number, supplying the whole object that belongs to the user, their phone number, and the code, right? So this change phone number async method will do the magic of verifying all of that, including the code that the user will supply. And the result we're gonna check is that gonna be success or not. We should handle if it's not success. We should have else there. It's fine, because if we do this, we can also expect errors, right? Or if it's not successful. But if it is success, we have this helper method before redirection. What does it do? Let's see. Or before it redirects, what it does is signs the user in before it redirects, and then it's gonna say success. The success will say your phone number, that phone number was added and verified. So yes, before redirection, what we do is we are signing the user and we are showing the success message. I hope that makes sense. Good. And then we're gonna check, was that the first time the user was prompted to add the phone number and verify the phone number? And like I said, we're gonna show the success message, and then we're gonna check who the user is based on the account type. If it's content user, they're gonna go to guest, but if it's a content creator, they're gonna go to subscription, being redirected, right? Else, if that was not the first time they're coming back, we're gonna check their role accordingly, right? To check where they're going, what role do they have, and they're gonna go accordingly, right? So basically, this is all about the verified phone number. So like I said, why it's so important when you're scaffolding identity, right? You are given the pages such as register, login, so forth, right? You can add your own custom identity pages, right? In a case where you want to verify the phone number, you have to make sure that you give the user an option to add the phone number. You will do your own internal checks. After the user has supplied a correct phone number, you will then go ahead and verify that phone number by sending an SMS that contains the code. You do not have to worry about the code. Again, what happens is this guy will generate the code. Here it is, generate a change phone number token async. Generate a telephone number change token for the specified user. You don't have to worry about that. ASP.NET Core Identity will take care of that. That's the beauty of it. You just have to make sure that you go through certain checks before you get to generate it and send it. And how do you send it? You send it via the SMS, right? You just have to make sure it's a correct phone number. Good. So this is something that I can teach you for 25 Rand per session. The session is an hour long. If you're interested in learning programming in C#, particularly using .NET ecosystem, we're talking about ASP.NET Core, MVC as a framework, Web API as a framework, .NET MAUI as a framework. We can even talk about the database because I'm so good at database, right? Sounds good? Listen, I'm gonna leave my numbers. Tell anyone who might be interested, from the beginner, those that are still in high school doing CAD, the students, those that regard themselves as professionals. I can teach all of this with a real life production system, right? Remember, we are meeting any day from Monday to Friday using Microsoft Teams. Sounds good? I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.